Hey, it's business coach Steve Gornson with another business tip to help you work smarter, not harder, so you can live more life. So, what is the true test of marketing success? I call it testing and measuring. Most people hate it. That's because there's a chance, however remote, that every marketing strategy that you're going to try will not work the first time you try it. In other words, it's possible that you could be spending money without seeing any returns, and that sucks. No one wants that. But consider this. You've probably been testing and measuring all your business life. Remember that maybe old newspaper ad that you tried and it didn't work, or radio spots maybe that did okay, or you weren't even sure if they worked or not? Well, that's what testing is. Testing what works and what doesn't. So the next step is really to do it properly, to do it with the proper intention. So here we're going to be talking about in today's business tips, the 6 steps on how to successfully determine what works and what doesn't. So we're going to start, number 1, it's really simple. Start by asking people where they heard about you. Start right now. Do it immediately. If there's one thing that I really stress with the business owners when I'm coaching them is if you don't know what's working or what's not, you can't really possibly make really good informed decisions, and you'll never know which ads to run. You may keep adding or running an ad that ever brings any sales, or accidentally kill a good one. So our customers, if you think about it, really come from a variety of different sources. And it's impossible to judge how an ad is working based on just sales alone. You really have to find out for sure. So a simple way is just create a simple tally sheet, including some of the ways that someone can hear about you, whether it's your website or maybe a specific landing page, social media, newspaper ads, direct mail, flyers, and of course the referrals you get. And if you're in a retail location, walk-in traffic as well. Every time someone inquires about your business or buys from you, just ask them a simple question. By the way, can I just ask you, where did you hear about my business? Then just go ahead and make the mark on the tally sheet in the relevant column and keep track and ensure this is important to make sure that everybody in your team is doing the exact same thing. And at the end of a couple of weeks or at the end of the month, just tally up and get the figures. And actually what I really like most about social media ads right now is they keep track of all the results for us. In fact, this is really a good place to test your ad message or your offers before you invest in the more expensive media like radio, TV, newspaper ads, and whatnot. So without this information, you really can't determine how much it's going to cost you to buy a lead or to buy a customer. And until you know this number, you will continue to waste money on poor marketing decisions. So think of it this way. I always tell my clients, marketing is math. And maybe that's why so many people hate tracking it, right? Because it really comes down to is how much does it cost you to buy your customer? But think of it this way, is with this information, now you could start making smarter business decisions. So the second point is, think of it this way, is prune, modify, increase. See, the first thing we need to figure out is what's not working. If you have an ad and it's getting a very low response, which means there's a low profit margin from sales, or basically the ad's not paying for itself, kill that ad right away. And then you only have one option. Improve the ad to make sure you get a great response. And there's a couple of things that you could do to make that task a little bit simpler. And here we go with that. So first, go back over your past ads and think about how well each one worked, and pull out the best couple and see if you could pick out what gave them their edge. Next, go ahead and look at what your competitors are doing. Do they have an ad just maybe runs every week? What can you learn from it? What's their offer? What's the pain that they're targeting with your prospects? And go through this process with each marketing piece that you're currently using, and then just examine it and then kill or modify. Examine, kill, modify. And remember, the true test of a marketing strategy is whether it pays for itself. So if you run an ad and it costs you $600 and you make $1,300 profit, hey, that's a good ad, right? So also run through each of these strategies and examining why so these are producing results and the others aren't. and see if you could pick up what's the one attractive point about each one. And this in itself that is going to really, it's going to teach you a massive amount of about your business and your marketing strategies as well. And then next, really think about the way that you could use each of these strategies and working on a larger scale. So let's say it's let's take Google Ads. The answer is simple. Test to see what happens if you can increase your budget by doubling your budget or increasing it just 50%, or maybe try adding to your ad to other social sites. This could bring in maybe twice the amount of sales as you had before. Look at taking your offer and test it by maybe adding it to other media, radio or TV. But whatever you do at this point, don't meddle with the ad. Just do the same thing, but now on a larger scale, because we're testing and measuring the results. And if we meddle with it, then we're screwing with the results. The third step is then go ahead and test and measure for another couple of weeks. Measure the leads with this new revised strategy of scaling up your ad, and then compare this with how much you were spending on your marketing. And you'll probably find that you barely missed those dud ads, and these now large-scale working strategies are paying off pretty well. If not, go back to your original size. The fourth area that we need to look at is the fourth step here is check your conversion. See, conversion is the number of leads that come from your sales. So many times when analyzing a business, I discovered that poor marketing is not the problem. It's just that they have bad sales techniques. There's a bunch of businesses that have a bunch of leads, but there's no skill in turning them into sales. So we have to be honest with ourselves. How many leads do you convert into sales? Is it possible to increase that conversion rate by maybe just a little? And I would tell you for sure that in most cases it is. So you just have to give your customer a reason to buy from your business. And price is not the only reason that customers will buy from your business. Think of it this way. What would happen if a salesperson at a more expensive business than yours actually took more interest in your prospects? What if they were maybe just a little bit friendlier? What if they were willing to back their product with a guarantee? What if they offered free delivery? All of these what ifs all add up and can really tip the scale of that next sale, right? So now what's point number 5 is consolidate. What we need to do is leave it for a month or so, just working on converting the supply of leads we have and working on better conversion technique, plus these more leads from these bigger scale and more successful marketing strategies should give us a really good boost to our business. And then finally, it leads us to the last point is to now it's time to branch out. What do I mean by branch out? Remember all those marketing strategies you examined and then modified? Now is the time to pull them out of your drawer and give them a run, give them a test. Do one at a time and then track the results meticulously. Write down exactly how many leads it brings you and how many of those that actually turn into customers. And then compare that with your marketing costs and judge whether this is a good strategy or not. If so, add it to your list of ongoing strategies. If not, try again. Test maybe a different headline, maybe a different media, put on a different offer or maybe a different look. If it doesn't work, then still just try giving it another try and keep tweaking until we get it down right. And so very soon you're going to develop a collection of marketing strategies that work, and you're going to weed out the real costly ones. And now what we really have there is now a business success formula. Does that make sense? So, is your company's marketing, is it awesome or is it lame? So if you want to gain some insights on how to improve your marketing, to leverage really to increase your profitability of your business, I suggest you schedule a free strategy session with me, and we'll take a closer look at your business. I'm business coach Steve Goranson, working with real people, generating real results to give you more life. Have a great day.